Hello students, I am Dr. Krupa Rasne, Professor and Head ENC Department, Jain College of Engineering, Belgavi. Now let us continue with the module 3 and this is the fifth video in module 3. The module 3 syllabus in the earlier we have already seen controlled rectifiers, introduction, principle of phase controlled converters and also full converters and dual converters and single phase semi converters with RL load and also a few problems. We have seen all of these in the earlier 4 modules. In this particular module, we are going to look at the AC voltage controllers and the content would be introduction, principle of on-off control, principle of phase control, single phase controllers with resistive and inductive load, and there will be problems associated with this particular chapter. The textbook remains the same, that is Mohammad H. Rashid, that has been prescribed by BTU. So looking at the contents a little more in detail, in AC voltage controller, we'll be explaining what is an AC voltage controller and what are the different types of AC voltage controllers. And also we'll see what are the actual applications of voltage controllers. Then we will look at the principles of on-off control and we'll look at the derivation and other details in the forthcoming videos. So coming to AC voltage controller, the introduction. The AC voltage controllers, it's also called as AC line voltage controller because we are going to give the AC at the input. And these are employed to vary the RMS value of the alternating voltage applied to the load circuit by introducing thyristors between the load and a constant voltage AC source. The RMS value of alternating voltage applied to a load circuit is controlled by controlling the triggering angle of the thyristor in the AC voltage controller circuits. So if you look at the AC voltage controller, in the block diagram, we can see that the input is an AC voltage with Vs, Fs as the input frequency. Both of them are going to be fixed. When we apply AC voltage controllers and control the output using the firing angle, we see that we are going to get a variable AC voltage in terms of RMS output voltage and a fixed frequency in this case. So, in brief, an AC voltage controller is a type of a thyristor power converter which is used to convert a fixed voltage, fixed frequency AC input supply to obtain a variable voltage AC output. The RMS value of the AC output voltage and the AC power flow to the load is controlled by varying and adjusting the triggering angle alpha. Now let us look at AC controller types. So basically there are two types of thyristor control used in practice to control the output AC power flow. That is on-off control and the other is phase control. So these are the two AC output voltage control techniques. What happens in on-off control technique is the thyristors are used as high-speed AC switches to connect the load circuit to the AC supply source for a few cycles of the input AC supply and then to disconnect it for a few input cycles. So for sometimes it is on, so a few cycles are allowed to go, and then for some time it is off, so no cycles are allowed to flow. Again a few cycles are allowed to flow, and so this on-off technique is used in this case. In phase control, the thyristors are used as switches to connect to the load circuit to the input AC supply for a part of every input cycle. So they are basically going to control the firing angle between 0 to 180 degrees, and in each cycle or in each half cycle the firing angle will play a role in controlling the output voltage. So here it is not on off, now the complete cycle will not go, only the part of the cycle will be going at the output. That is, the AC supply voltage is chopped using thyristors during a part of each input cycle. By controlling the phase angle or the trigger angle alpha, that is delay angle, the output RMS voltage across the load can be controlled. Now, further, AC voltage controllers can be again categorized on two types based on the type of input AC supply. We know that input has to be AC, okay, input has to be fixed AC with a fixed frequency, but again we can categorize them based on whether the input AC is a single phase AC voltage controller or it is a three-phase AC controller supply applied to the circuit. So what is the input, whether it is single phase or three phase? And the single phase AC controllers operate with single phase AC supply voltage of our Indian supply voltages are 230 volts and 50 hertz. Okay. And for three phase AC controllers, they operate with three phase AC supply of 400 volts RMS at 50 hertz supply frequency. So each of these type of controllers can again be subdivided into unidirectional or half wave AC controller, okay, and the other is bidirectional or full wave AC controller. In brief, different types of AC voltage controllers can be single phase half wave AC controller, single phase full wave AC voltage controller, or three phase half wave AC voltage controller. So when you say half wave, it has to be unidirectional controllers, only one direction it controls. And the other is three phase full wave AC controller, again which is bidirectional, that is both the half cycles will be controlled. Now applications of AC voltage controller. So what we have is, it is basically used in lighting or illumination control in AC power circuits. So I want to control the intensity of light or illumination, then AC voltage controllers can be used. Or for induction heating, or in industrial heating and domestic heating. Even at home, if you want to control the heating of water or heating of anything, you can control it using AC voltage controllers. Or we use transformer tap changing on load transformer tap changing. Speed control of induction motors, these are AC motors, okay, single phase and polyphase AC induction motor control. And of course, it can be used in AC magnet control. So these are the few applications where AC voltage controllers can. So let us now look at the principle of on-off control technique. It is also called as integral cycle control. So the circuit is basically made up of an input which is a fixed Vs, which is an AC input, and at the output also I am going to get an AC output, but it is going to be a variable AC. And to control the flow of current, I need a carrier, a thyristor which carries in this direction of current, that is forward direction towards the load. And since it is AC, I also need the negative current to flow, in which case I use an anti-parallel thyristor T2. So we have got T1 and T2 which are anti-parallel connected to the same source. So one thyristor will conduct during the positive half cycle when it is forward bias, and I apply the trigger at alpha equal to 0 so that the complete half cycle comes at the output, and the negative half cycle will be forward biasing T2, and if I fire it at this pi or 180 degrees, the T2 will start to conduct in the negative direction. So T1 conducts during the full positive half and T2 conducts during the full negative half. And since the current are opposite to each other, right, during both the half cycles, I am going to get at the load positive when it is T1 and negative when it is T2. Hence this will be an AC voltage. And let us see how I can control the AC at the output using the on-off. So what we are going to do is, I am going to do it on for some time and off for some time. So here we can see that N is the duration of time for which I have made it on. So if I make it on, both thyristor T1 and T2 will conduct during positive and negative, T1 during positive, T2 during negative, and they carry the current I0 in the positive and in the negative direction. and the load will be getting the supply of both the cycle for the whole end duration. So whatever is at the input for the end duration till here, it will be getting at the output. Okay, so the load is connected to the input during n period. During m period, no firing angle will be given to T1 or T2. So at the input, even if there is a supply, since T1 and T2 are not conducting, no voltage will come at the output. So there is no voltage, and that happens for m cycle. In this case, I have kept on for 2 cycles and off for 1 cycle. And that again it will repeat again 2 cycles we keep it on, that is n cycle and m cycle. So what happens is we are giving intermittent voltages are being applied to R, not the complete input, only part of the input is being applied at the output. So definitely this voltage is going to be lesser than this voltage. And how less it will be based upon what is the duration of end time, that is on time, and what is the duration of the off time. So if my on time duration is more, definitely output will be more. If my on time duration is less, output is going to be less. In this way, I'll be able to get the output which is variable from complete cycle completely on, or I can make it intermittently on. So these are the waveforms you can see. Input waveform, this is the output waveform, and output current is shown here, right? And these are the gate pulses that are used to trigger T1 and T2. So T1 is triggered here during the positive half cycle, and for T2 it is triggered at the angle pi, so that and this is at angle 0. Okay, so the load can be R or RL. In this case it doesn't as much as of now. Voltage will be as shown in the figure. So the basic principle of on-off control technique is explained with reference to a single phase full wave AC voltage controller circuit as shown below. The same principle can be applied for 3-phase. So for 3-phase, each phase will have 2 thyristors T1 and T2, the way I have shown for the single phase. So there will be 6 sets of thyristors there, or 3 sets of thyristors and 6 thyristors in totality. So the thyristor switches T1 and T2 are turned on by applying appropriate gate trigger pulses to connect the input supply voltage to the load for n number of input cycles during the time interval T on. The thyristor T1 and T2 are turned off by blocking the gate trigger pulses for m number of input cycles during the time interval T off. The AC controller on time T on usually consists of an integral number of input cycles. So in this principle of on-off control technique, let us refer to the waveforms of on-off control technique diagram. N is equal to 2 input cycles, as I have told you. Thyristors are turned on during T on for the complete 2 input cycles, and M is equal to 1 input cycle, right? So thyristor is turned off during T off, that is for 1 input cycle. So thyristors are turned on precisely at the 0 voltage crossing of the supply, that is at alpha equal to 0 degrees and at alpha equal to pi, that is the 0 crossings of the input supply. The thyristor T1 is turned on at the beginning of each positive half cycle by applying the gate trigger pulses to T1 as shown during the on period. The load current flows in the positive direction, which is the downward direction as shown in the diagram when the thyristor T2 is turned on at the beginning of each negative half cycle by applying a gating signal to the gate of T2 during T on. The load current flows in the reverse direction, which is upward direction when T2 conducts. Thus, we obtain a bidirectional load current flow, alternating load current flow in a AC voltage controller circuit by triggering the thyristors alternately. This type of control is used in applications which have high mechanical inertia and high thermal time constant industrial heating and speed control of AC motors. Due to zero voltage and zero current switching of thyristors, the harmonics generated by switching actions are reduced. So that is the advantage of switching on at zero voltage, but ideally it cannot be at zero voltage. The thyristor has to be forward biased with a certain amount of forward voltage. Now let us look at this. So we have the input supply given as Vm sin omega t, which Vm can be written as root 2 V into Vs sin omega t, where Vs is the RMS of the input AC supply, which is equal to Vm by root 2. Okay. And if the input AC supply is connected to the load for n number of cycles and disconnected for m number of input cycles, then the on period or T on can be written as n into T and T off can be written as m into T. Okay, where T is the period of the input cycle, where T is equal to 1 by F, that is equal to input cycle time or time period, and F is the input supply frequency. So T on is nothing but the controller on time given by N into T. T off is controller off time, which is equal to M into T. And let's say T naught is output time period, that is total time T on plus T off. So that can be written as N into T plus MT. We can show that output RMS voltage or V naught RMS is equal to input RMS voltage under the root sign T on upon total time period T0, or this can be written as VI RMS is nothing but the supply voltage Vs under the root sign T on upon T0. Okay, where V naught RMS is therefore equal to Vs into under the root sign, where K is nothing but root of T on upon T0. Okay, or where K is equal to T on upon T0. Okay, and hence we get V naught RMS equal to Vs into root of K, where Vi RMS is the RMS input supply voltage Vs. The same we can derive when we analytically by using the formulas that we have done earlier for rectifiers. Okay. So in summary, we have seen today AC voltage controller. We have seen the introduction, what is AC voltage controller, and we have also seen the types of AC voltage controller, that is on off and phase control. But of course, we have not touched the phase control as of now. We have also seen application of AC voltage controller, right? And we looked a little more deeper into principle on off control, and we also saw some derivation what is RMS voltage at the output, but we have more derivations to see, and this will be looked at in the further videos. So in the next video we'll be looking at the derivation of RMS value of the output voltage analytically. We'll also look at the performance parameters, right? The way we have done the performance parameters in control rectifiers, and also let us look at what is average and RMS current of thyristors, and a few problems will be dealt with in the next video. So thank you, and if you have any questions, please do get back to me.